Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I wanted to talk on ungrateful kids because, man, it's something where I was just sitting down thinking about it, and I'm like, why do kids carry on like that? What makes... Because, see, here's the thing. In my household, you always had respect for your parent. Now, when I hear that whole thing like, oh, respect your elders, I'm like, fam, if you ain't blood or my parent, no. So, like, other, older adults, yeah, they could get this work. I don't care talking back to them. But my parents, no. It's crazy because, like, it's just, if I'm even telling a story, so like, let's say for an example, if I'm telling a story, like, I don't even curse in front of my parents. So for an example, if I'm like, oh yeah, I was out today and this guy, he was going off, he was all like, man, F this and F that, that's how I say it, but I won't actually say the word, because it's just, you just have that respect for your parent. You don't go through with it. You don't actually say it, and they don't have a problem with it. If they were to be all like, oh, you could say like what they're saying and stuff. I'm not, as long as you ain't saying it to me, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Until I hear those words, okay? Until then, it's like, oh yeah, that man said F this, they said F that, they're like, I ain't going nowhere, F all this, I'm about to blow this B up, and I'm like, that's just how I talk, with my parents. But it's just that respect that you, and I'm not saying that you're being disrespectful if you do like it. So like, yeah, if you're telling the story and then you're repeating the curse words and stuff, no, that's not being disrespectful. It's disrespectful though when you're cussing out your parent. Now, when I watch like those Dr. Phil episodes, what else? Mainly that, but oh no, the one TV show, I used to watch that show all the time because I don't know why. But so in my household, like if you tried that being all disrespectful, you either got some form of punishment. Now with my dad, I remember he would have me do push-ups. My mom whooped me. And it's something where it's like, hey, it makes you sit down and realize, like, when you think of the situation where it's like, well, dang, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I can't be mad at my parents because, that's just overall how they were raised. I know people probably would, like, ask that question. When you have kids, are you going to whoop them? No. My thing is this, like, I'm not saying that, excuse me, my parents did things the wrong way. I'm just saying, like, for me, I'm not gonna whoop my kids. If I can't sit there and talk with them, I'm like, then fam, I don't know. I feel like at some point in time I went wrong with parenting. And I'm not saying that, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things. I'm not a parent just yet, so like I haven't crossed that bridge, but I just know right now where it stands, I don't plan on whooping my kids. I'm gonna try to go, not even try, like there's just something where it's like that's just the thing with them. I'm like, I'm not going to whoop them for any reason. Like, I guess like if we're doing a comedy skit, right? And then that's like the part of the skit where it's like it's fake. It ain't like they really getting. So that'll probably be the only time when I'll whoop them. But other than that, I'm like on some real life stuff. I'm like, if I can't sit there and explain it to them, then I'm like, yeah, it's just I don't know what, like it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, when I become a parent, I'm just gonna have to cross that bridge when I cross it and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, like when I watched those TV shows, man, like it was crazy how those kids was acting on there. Like Nanny 911, oh my god, those kids were bad, bro. They were bad. And it was something where it was like, I found it funny because I'm like, okay, like for one, I know I can never carry on like that in my household. That's one thing for sure. Another thing is like, when you see a kid like carrying on, at least for me, when I saw kids carrying on like that, whether I was at school or whether I was out in public or watching it on TV, it was funny to me. I always found that, but yeah, it was just, me and my parents, we always laughed at weird. That's one thing. It's like when we see somebody acting so out of pocket and just crazy, we laugh at that type of stuff. So we always find it funny and things, but anyways, and then it just seems like, fast forward, you got either them same kids or a new generation of kids just being 10 times worse. And it's like, fam, why? You know, like it like tripped me out when I see like, oh no, it was the one, I think that was a Dr. Phil episode, but the kid was like, he was mad at his mom for something and he slapped his mom. And I'm like, fam, that's something where it's like, I'm not even afraid to put myself out there on blast, like on what would happen to me. But I know I probably will find myself waking up and I'm just so, you know how like when a person, when they get knocked out, and then like that moment when they're waking up and they trying to like, you know, they're just all disoriented and they don't know where they're at and they trying to like get back into, you know, into the earth and things. But I know for a fact I will find myself probably laid out on the floor and then just having like people like grabbing onto me all like, hey, can you feel this? They're like, are you okay? I'm like, what happened? Like I was sitting down, I was talking, and I remember I slapped my mom, and what happened? They're like, yeah, she took the steel chair right out from underneath you and just went across your head with it. I was like, was I still in the sitting position? They're like, yeah, it happened so fast. It's like you didn't even have time to fall after she snatched the chair out from underneath you. Like she snatched it, flipped it, and just went across your head with it. I'm like, she snatched, flipped, and snatch, flip, and then went across. I'm like, wow. Like that's cool, but like they're like, yeah, it turns out you got like 15 concussions right now. I'm like, 15 concussions? I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, well, she went a few times across your head. I'm like, dang, man. So I'm like, all these people in this room right now, they're not real. They're like, it's just only me and you. I'm like, wow, okay, so I am going through. But yeah, like, no, but honestly, like, all seriousness, I know for a fact, like, well, no, I know, like, physical harm would have been done to me, but I definitely think that I would have, and it's something where it's like, I couldn't even be mad or couldn't have any ill feelings towards it. Like, I know my parents would never look at me the same, and I probably either would have been, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think. Like it's something that it wouldn't surprise me. Like if my parents were to adopt me, if I were carrying on like that, because they're all like, nah, he got something going on with him and stuff. So it's like he's no longer welcomed in this house. Yeah, because if I'm doing stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to kick me out. And it's like, yeah, that's just something where it's like, no, you gotta go. Like you out here disrespecting your parents like that. It's like, nah, fam, you gotta go. Like it's crazy. And then like just hearing it like now, because that was like that, I think that episode came out some years ago, and I think like the newer episodes now when they talk on them is like these kids, they want to be content creators, and they're all like, oh, I just want to sit around and play Fortnite. Here's the thing, like, you know, I guess talking on that, it's like, I know I may say a lot where it's like, you know, I'm working on YouTube like 24/7 and things, but I at least make time for my family, you know, like whether if we're hanging out, like just not too long ago, went to a Seahawks game with my dad, hanging out with my mom, like, you know, every chance throughout the day when I can like hang out with her and stuff. And then, yeah, with my sister, it's like, you know, we always have, like, some sort of family time. But if I do, like, go and decide, like, I'm gonna, you know, work on some videos real quick, they're not tripping about it and things. And so, yeah, I just, you know, but I make sure that it's like I'm not gone, like, the whole day, and they don't see me until, like, later on that night, like, literally hours before the next day. Like, they didn't see me that morning, all throughout the day, none of that. No, that's unheard of. I'm like, no, my family is constantly seeing me and stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things, or seeing me, hearing from me, whatever the situation is. But yeah, it's like it's just one of those things where it's like you always put family first, you know. Even if, like, the thing is this, like, even if they don't put your dreams first, you still gotta put your family, like, up there and stuff. Like you can't just go and just be like, oh no, like I don't wanna be it, because it, you know, when I see stuff like that, it makes it like hard to, well, no, not hard to like look at content creating, but it just makes content creating feel different. Like it makes it feel like that, like you're gonna get looked at differently, because people like because that's the one thing for sure. It's like I'm not gonna allow these kids to be the spokespeople for content creators. It's like, no, them kids, they just got their wires in their head done incorrectly and stuff. But yeah, it's like I don't know what's up with those kids, because I'm like, that, stuff like that, I'm like, that would make no sense. It's like, what are you, because like, no, there's the one video I saw where the kid, he was like, I think more so he had a video game addiction. I don't think it was on some stuff where he wanted to be a YouTuber or anything. He just overall had a video game addiction. So anyways, he hold on for 1 second. All right, I'm back. I just had to do some things real quick. But anyway, well, to be honest, I wanted to watch this scene of AEW Rampage. So don't judge me, okay? I'm still a wrestling fan even when I'm doing podcast episodes. So, but anyways, but no, like, so the kid, he had this video game addiction. And his mom's telling him, like, hey, get off the game. And he's, like, yelling back at her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, fam, so I know, because people probably ask me, like, well, with all the, like, like gaming, like streaming, and then gaming channels and all that stuff, like, do you have a video game addiction? If I do, it's not as strong as that. Like, it'll never be on some stuff where it's like, I can't, see my family right now because I gotta get, like, all the skins in Fortnite, or I gotta get. But yeah, you'll hear things like that where it's like, kids will take their parents' credit card or debit card, whatever, and they'll, use it for Fortnite. The one that really tripped me out, and I need to go and, I'm trying to think, did I ever post that video? I don't think I ever did post that video. So there's this video of this mom where and I'm like, the thing is just, it don't matter what your parent has done to you, you don't do that to them. You don't put them in a tough situation like that. So, but anyways, so the kid takes his mom's rent money and spent it on his girlfriend. I'm like, bruh, you cannot do that. Like, you cannot. I don't care how mad you are at your parent. You can never, ever spend your parents' money and then just think you're gonna get away with that. No, that happened a while ago. I think maybe a month or two ago. I have yet to hear whatever happened to that kid. Cause no, that's crazy. It's like, you do some stuff like that, then you think it's normal. Like, fam, you have to at some point in time realize that that's not normal. Like, you cannot do that and stuff. It's confusing. It's very confusing that he thought that would be a good idea. Like, no, bruh, you can't even spend $1 of that money. That is your mom's rent money, so she can continue staying where she is staying at. I don't understand. It's crazy how, like, there'd be some kids out there where they'll get clueless on that type of stuff, and they're all like, well, can the rent people just hold them, wait until a little bit longer and things? No! The thing is this, to explain it to kids out there that's just mad disrespectful, when rent is due. It's like, you can look at some of the most simplest things in life, bruh. Because, alright, so this for an example. When you go to play a song off of your Spotify account, Apple Music account, whatever it is, imagine if the song didn't play until after you clicked on that song. You're gonna be mad about that. You're gonna be like, no, I'm paying money for a Spotify subscription, whatever music service that you use, but you're paying money for this music service, and they're not overall, like, giving you your product. They're not giving you your music. You go and click on it, you got the song downloaded, Wi-Fi is enabled, all that stuff, and nothing's being played. You're gonna be mad about that. So you're like, no, I want my song now. I want to listen to it right now. I want to listen to it on your time. I want to listen to it on my time. All right. So it's stuff like that where it's like, people need to sit down and think, well, how would you feel, all right, if somebody owed you money, or if you were expecting money, or whatever the situation is, you didn't get your money. So then what are you going to do? So yeah, it's like, it's people, I just think, like, there's just people out there, they're just inconsiderate and they don't care about others. But yeah, it's like, that story, I'm like, man, oh, and then there's the one story, it was much more worse than that. Like, so the boy, he got upset at his mom for some reason, destroyed her whole place. It looked like it could have been an apartment, but still, like it was a lot of stuff in there that he destroyed. He destroyed the counter for her kitchen. He destroyed, like, I think the TV. It was a bunch of things in there that was destroyed. And I'm like, how, like, why? like honestly, how do you have that much anger in your system to where you will do some stuff like that? Like, it confuses me, man. I'm like, I don't know. Like, with me, I've never been that angry to where I was like, hey, you know what? Let me destroy my parents' stuff and see how that, like, no, bruh. Like, because the thing is that, like, I want to get into acting one day, and I feel like that they probably would hire me for a movie where it's like, or a TV show, and it like a Law and Order TV show, and they're all like, oh yeah, dude snap, like my character, they're all like, oh yeah, he snapped, killed both his parents. I'm like, well, why I gotta have such a dark role like that? Like, how come I couldn't have been like no bank robber or something, or like or a catalytic converter stealer or something? Why I gotta do some old dark stuff like that? Why like how come everybody else throughout the week they all get normal episodes and I get the darkest episode? They're like, yeah, but it gets to showcase your acting ability. I'm like, all right, hold on, time out, because I don't want my parents to just, they watch this and then they look at me different because they think that I played the role too well. So now they question me. They can't sleep at night. They see me walking around. They're all like, no, what you doing walking around? You got a butter knife in your hand. I'm like, I'm just trying to make me a sandwich. And then they confused on why I'm making a sandwich in the middle of the night. And I'm trying to explain to them at times at night, I get hungry. Before that, I can walk around the house with a butter knife. Now, after that Law and Order episode, I can't do it no more because they seen how crazy I can be in a TV show, and I'm like, nah, man. So it's something where it's like, I think, I don't know, if the money is right, I'm like, hey, I got paid some money, all right, to do that. So you guys, y'all just gonna have to roll with it. I ain't crazy, but I'm just trying to get paid, all right. So, but yeah, man, it's like, it's stuff like that where it confuses me on how I see kids. And just, overall, yeah, people act and stuff to their parents like, yeah, you got some ungrateful kids out there. But no, it's like, it goes back like probably since the beginning of time where it's like, there is always like that one ungrateful kid and stuff. And yeah, it's just, I've heard so many, dark stories and just, like Dr. Phil type stories where it's like, yeah, you got some people out there that have done things where it's like they're most likely now regretting it because they spending life in prison for it, and over here taking their parents' lives over some dumb stuff. Like, I'll never forget the one story where the kid, he took his mom's life because it wasn't even his mom, it was the dad. And I'm like, even then still though, like, you shouldn't have done what you did and stuff. But he goes in so he wanted to get Halo 3. This happened like years ago, but he wanted to get Halo 3. His dad said no. He somehow, some way, I think, made the money to get Halo 3. And then he bought it, was playing it, whatever, and all that stuff. Well, the thing is that his dad, I think his dad was a pastor, or is a pastor, I don't know, but anyways, he didn't want his kid playing that, which I can, understand. Like, it's like those pastor parents. It's like, I can understand it. I can understand why they wouldn't want, because it's like, that's not their household and stuff. So, but anyways, so he somehow, some way got the game, was playing it. Dad seen him playing it, took the game away from him, and put it in his safe. Well, the kid knew the combination to the safe, so I think most people would probably be all like, oh, well, he probably just went, opened up the safe, and just played it. No, he went for his dad's gun, shot and then killed his mom, and then shot his dad. Didn't kill his dad, but still, like, I know he has to be in prison right now, sitting down, thinking about that, and it's like, why did I do that? Like, why was it really that serious? Look how many Halo games. My thing is this, if I was in a situation like that, but no, I actually was. But the funny thing is that if a kid is just patient, right? If a kid is just patient, eventually your parents, and it's up to them. It's up to them whether they're gonna, like, whatever you wanted and you didn't get a chance to get it. They might get it. But so anyways, back when I was a kid, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was releasing for the first time. I wanted that game. So what was funny was that I remember seeing it in stores, right? Seeing it in stores, asked my mom for it. My mom, this is like when video games was like $49.99. So yeah, games was much cheaper. But yeah, back then it was like, video games. But they were still expensive. I mean, $49.99. I'm trying to think. I'd rather spend that much than $69.99 or, but anyways. So yeah, I remember I asked my mom. My mom said no, but she was all like, you could get Grand Theft Auto 3 if you want that Grand Theft Auto and stuff. So I ended up getting Grand Theft Auto 3. Then that same night, I kid you not, same night, my dad comes home with Grand Theft Auto Vice Cities. And I'm like, fam, how do you... What just, and I think that was like one of the first few times I remember he went to GameStops, I think, because it was like, I remember the game case being cracked, and I'm like, why the game case look like, well, it's still a video game, I don't care how that game case look, it's still a video game, but yeah, like, because GameStops, for those that have never shopped at GameStops, there will be at times where you get a game, and it's like messed up or whatever and stuff, so, but anyways, but yeah, then I remember I did eventually ask my dad for San Andreas, and then he was all like, no, he was like, games, it's too explicit, it's too crazy and stuff. I was like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm like, well, dang, man. I'm like, that's messed up. I really wanted to play it. Then I think that same year on Christmas, ended up getting Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And so, yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like, if you wait and you're patient, at some point in time, you're going to get what you want to get. And that kid, it was like, what, how many Halos done came out since then? Because it was like, what, Halo, so there was 3, Reach, 4, 5, Infinite, like what, 5 Halos done came out and stuff? Like, I'm saying, there's a lot of different Halo games that came out, and it's like, this kid could have been playing it, never gonna play a Halo again a day in his life. Never. And I'm like, even I think back in the 90s, there's this one story, there was like the Menendez brothers, where they, I think they wanted to get their parents insurance money or something like that. And yeah, they were just out like traveling the world, freaking, I think one was over playing tennis when he eventually got caught by the police. I can't remember what the other one was doing, but yeah, it's like, that's something where it's like, my parents like will joke around with it. I'll like, oh, like if I like accidentally bump into them or whatever or something, or if I ask them, can they do some like crazy, like, hey, can you do 3 backflips for no reason? Then they're like, oh, I see what you trying to get me to injure myself for the insurance. But like, we joke around, but it's something where it's like, I just couldn't bring myself to it because that's one thing I remember I was thinking. I'm like, I've never seen my parents in pain. I would not want to be that one to cause it. So yeah, there's just, the thing is this. You always, all right, for as long as your time is on earth, okay, for the rest of your life, you always have a respect for your parents. Always. And it's crazy to me, like how people, they mad disrespectful to their parents, and it's like, for what? Like, and then there's the one, I remember there was the one guy, that racist dude that was joining my stream being toxic and stuff. And I remember he joined my stream and he was talking about like how he curses in front of his mom, and then he was like, oh, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna curse whenever I feel like it. And it's like, yeah, you just disrespectful. It's like, it ain't got nothing to do with you wanting to be a grown man. It's like, the funny thing is like, I'm older than him and I don't curse in front of my parent. So like that, it just shows where it's like, no, there's just people out there where it's all like, they try to find ways where they can be disrespectful, but it's like, fam, there ain't no need for it. So, but anyways, yeah, people, it's like, it's just, moral of this story, of this podcast episode, just be respectful to your parent. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's like parents, other people, like when they all like, oh, respect your elders, and it just be some old random, it's Craig from down the street. I'm all like, okay, Craig, you could get this work. But my parents, it's like, no, you can't put I'll never forget when it was a manager at my old job. She tried to like put herself on the same level as my mom. I'll never forget that. I was telling my mom about that not too long ago. The manager was all like, I can't remember how overall reacted, but she wanted me to work at another location. And I said that numerous times. I'm like, I don't like working at those locations because it's slow. I like working at the fast pace. There are 500 people. You would think you don't hear that too often. You don't hear where a coworker or your employee, he wants to work at the busy location. He wants more work. You never hear of that. So it confuses me on how she reacted. But so anyways, she goes and so she asked me and I was like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, I don't really want to, but yeah, sure, whatever and stuff. And the thing is this, I'm like, I'm for certain that I've said them same exact words to my parents and stuff, where it's like, if they've asked me a question or if they've asked me to do something, I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess, I don't really want to, but yeah, sure, it's just something where it's like, but you still doing it, you still went out and did it and things. So anyways, I go over to the other location and she's already there. I think I was like gathering up my stuff and she already had walked over there and things. So I'm over there and I remember when I had walked up to the cash register, I think I was getting ready to ask her a question or I was just waiting for her to walk away. It was something, but so anyways, she goes and she's all like, that was very rude or disrespectful how you responded to me. You wouldn't talk to your mother that way, would you? And I'm like, first off, you are not on the same level as my mom. It's like my mom brought me into this world. All you do is sign my checks. I can easily go out and find me another job, another manager, and everything else. A mom, though, you can't go out and find another mom. Like, not like mine. I'm like not trying to say like, oh, my mom is better than everybody else's mom, but I'm just saying, I grew up with this woman. I know her. She raised me. That is my blood. That is my mom. You are not on that same level. So don't ever put yourself on that same level. It's like, no, when she said that, I just walked off because I was like, that is honestly one of the most silliest things I've ever heard. Because if I were to say that same thing to you, you would be looking at me saying the same exact thing. You are not my parent. You are not my guardian. I can talk to you crazy anyway. And the funny thing was, I didn't even say anything crazy. Even when I was bringing it up to other people, they were all like, and there was people that was there. They seen how I responded, and they was like, you didn't say nothing though. Like wait, what? I'm confused. Time out. What is going on? I think at times though, like I might have scared those guys because they were probably all like, hey yo, Tyler's about to quit. Like he done had enough of these managers saying crazy things to him. He's gone. Like no, it just takes one more time and he is gone. But yeah, I think we all know it's like, yeah, because of the pandemic and stuff. But yeah, it's like, yeah, random people, if it's up to you. But if they're being disrespectful to you, then yeah, obviously be disrespectful to them. But, and then I know like people probably ask that question like, well, what would you do if your parent was being disrespectful to you? There's been times when my parents have said disrespectful things to me. And it's the thing is what I do. I just kind of silence myself away or, just kind of bring myself away from the situation. So I pretty much just do what I did to the manager. I just walk away. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm like, if you want to be disrespectful, you go. Because I'm just at a point in time in my life where I'm all like, hey, yo, that disrespect, I'm like, it ain't like it's going to do nothing to me. So I'm just going to walk away, do my own thing. You'll understand where if I'm being, not as talkative to you and stuff, then yeah, it's like, then you'll know. And so, but yeah, it's one of those things where I've heard situations where there's been, some mad disrespectful parents, and then yeah, talking to the parents, it's like always show respect and love to your kids, and then same with the kids, always show love and respect to your parents. I should do a podcast episode to just kind of even things out, like disrespectful parents and stuff, because no, I've heard some stories of some crazy parent stories. So yeah, I think I'll probably have that as the next episode, but or a future episode, whenever. But anyways, yeah, but that being said, once again, kids, be respectful to your parents. It's easy, all right? So, but anyways, thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 46 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, I got my SeatGeek stuff to work again. So make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss and it will knock $20 off of your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching or listening, and peace.